Morning. My name is Sharma and I am a senior lecturer in physics in a reputed institution. And now I am going to take the part of current in the chapter Current Electricity. Current Electricity. In this, let us see what is current basically. You may have come across this word in your 10th class and any other course. Now, what is current? The rate of flow of charge. The rate of flow of charge is called current. Generally we say it's called current. That is, current I is equals to charge by time. So in the physics sense, rate of flow, unless it is mentioned, it is with respect to time only. In physics sense, the rate means with respect to time only. Therefore, the current is charge by time, or simply we can say Q by T. Also, we can say I is equals to dQ by dt. As mentioned, rate of flow of charge means dQ by dt. Change in the charge by change in the current, or the change in the charge respect to current in a particular cross section. In a particular cross section is called as current. And more precisely we can write I is equals to limit delta t tends to 0 delta q by delta t. In more precise, we can write exact definition is as delta t, the change in the time is very small, tending towards 0. I is equals to limit delta t tends to 0 delta q by delta t. In mathematics, we can say that when the delta t tending towards 0, then delta q by delta t is taken as dq by dt. Taken as dq by dt. Therefore, the current I is equals to dq by dt, or simply we can take the charge by time. Charge by time is called as current. Now, what is the unit of current? Unit of current is, we can say charge by time means charge unit is coulomb. Time means second. Coulomb per second, or simply in one letter it is ampere. One letter it is ampere. Ampere is the practical unit of current. Coulomb per second or ampere is the unit of current. Now, important one, note. So current is a scalar or a vector. So we can say if we take a circuit here, the current is in this from A to B, it is flowing in this direction. From B to C, it is flowing in this direction. I1, this is I2. Then we may have, it is having direction, some I1 is equal to some 1 ampere, I2 is equal to some say 3 amperes. Now it is having both magnitude and also direction. Then what can we say about the current? Is it scalar or a vector? Generally we say it is a vector, but the particular definition of vector is a vector is one which is having both magnitude and direction and should follow the vector laws. So what are the vector laws? You may know that they are parallelogram law, triangle law, polygon law, they are all the vector laws. But here the current, even though it is having magnitude and direction, it does not follow the vector laws. Hence we can say it is a scalar. It is a scalar. It doesn't follow the vector laws, even though it is having both magnitude and direction. Hence it is termed as a scalar only. Unit is ampere and it is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. Now, how can we express the different forms of current? How can we express the different forms of current is, see, generally lightning, we hear lightning. A lightning carries some tens of thousands of amperes, tens of thousands of amperes. Lightning current carries a current of some tens of thousands of amperes. That is why when some lightning came, some tree may be destroyed, some house may be destroyed, some area may be destroyed, because it carries a huge amount of current. Likewise, our body carries some current. It is the order of microamps. Our body is also having some current, but it also has the order of microamps. Micro means mu, that is equals to 10 power minus 6. Micro means mu, that is 10 power minus 6 amperes, microamperes. Whereas in a household purpose, in domestic purpose, where we use our fans and tube lights, all this one, the current carries of the order of some amperes. Current is of the order of some amperes. Body carries some current. The order is very small, of the order of 10 power minus 6 amperes. Whereas lightning or thunders, they carries a current of some order of some tens of thousands of amperes, which can damage some area apart. Now, let us see what are the different parts of different ways of expressing the current in different ways. Simply we know that current is charged by time. But we can express the current in angular velocity or frequency, or we can say in any other ways. Now let us see that one now. Okay. Now, as we told that the current I is equals to dq by dt, or current I is equals to charge by time. From this equation, what is dq then? dq is equals to I dt. dq is equals to I dt. Integrating on both sides. Integrating on both sides, what will you have? Integral dq is equals to integral of I dt. This implies q is equals to integral of I dt. This is the integral relation between charge and current and time. Integral relation between charge and current and time. So if time is given from the current is flowing in a cross section for a time of 3 seconds to 10 seconds, then we can say q is equals to integral of 3 to 10 I dt. In general, we can say it is some t1 to t2 I dt is the amount of charge that flows through a given cross section. Remember, the current is independent of area of cross section. Okay. Now, this is one of the ways of expressing the current. Now, now we know that angular velocity omega is equals to 2 pi by t. Omega is equals to 2 pi by t. This implies t is equals to 2 pi by omega. Now what is the current now? I is equals to q by t, that is equals to q by 2 pi by omega, implies current I is equals to omega q by 2 pi. This is another way of expressing the current in terms of charge and angular velocity. Omega, radians per second. Omega is in terms of radians per second. Therefore, I is equals to omega q by 2 pi. Omega q by 2 pi. Or simply, or another way of expressing as 1 by t is equals to f, the frequency. The reciprocal of time period is called as frequency. The reciprocal of time period is called as frequency. Therefore, 1 by t is equals to f. Therefore, I is equals to q by t. Q into 1 by t, that is equals to q into f. If you are given frequency and charge, you can easily calculate the current I is equals to q into f. Now, if next one, if n number of charges are flowing, if n number of charges are flowing, then total charge flowing is each having a charge q, each having a charge q, then total charge is equals to n into q. Then what is the current now? I is equals to nq by t. If 10 number of electrons are flowing through a cross section for a time of 10 seconds, then what is the amount of current means? So I is equals to n number of electrons. This is n is equals to 10. 10 number of electrons are flowing through a cross section for 10 seconds. Then what is the current means? I is equals to nq by t. N is 10. Charge of electron is 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Therefore, total charge for 10 electrons. One electron carries a charge of 1.60 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Therefore, charge for the 10 electrons is 10 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs for a time of 10 seconds. Therefore, total current I is equals to, therefore, the current is 1.10 power minus 19 amperes is the amount of current. And this is how we can calculate if you give n number of charges. Now, another way of expressing the current is, a point charge q is revolving around the circular orbit of radius r with a velocity v. A point charge q is the charge. A point charge q is moving in a circular path in a circular orbit of radius r is radius, and with velocity v is velocity. Then what is the current carried? I is equals to, again I is equals to charge by time, q by t. And how can we get the value of t here? So I think you have come across this in the Bohr's theory, that temperature t is equals to distance by displacement, whatever it may be. Displacement or distance, we can take it as distance here, no problem. So it is a scalar quantity. So distance by velocity. What is the distance there? Distance is equals to circumference by velocity. This implies t is circumference is 2 pi r by velocity is v. Therefore, we got t is equals to 2 pi r by v. Therefore, the current I is equals to charge by time. That is equals to charge by time is 2 pi r into v. This implies I is equals to 2 pi r. I is equals to qv by 2 pi r. If you are given velocity and radius, then the current is given by I is equals to qv by 2 pi r. This is another way of expressing the current. These are all different formats of expressing the current. Now let us see. Remember that the current always flows in a direction opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. If electrons are flowing like this, these are all electrons, then current will be flowing like this. If electrons are flowing in a direction, then the current will be flowing in the opposite to the direction of electrons. I think you know that protons are positive charge. So let us take protons. Protons are moving like this, then electrons will be moving like this. Therefore, current is in the current direction is opposite to flow of electrons. Therefore, current direction is like this. Current will be, because electrons are like this, current is like this. Therefore, the current direction is in the direction of flow of protons or positive charge. There we can say, we can call this one technically in physics terms as conventional flow of current. We can call this one as conventional flow of current. That is, the direction of current is in the direction of flow of protons or opposite to the flow of, what do you call this, electrons. Now let us say, if n1 number of electrons are flowing from right to left, n1 number of electrons are flowing from right to left, and n2 number of protons are flowing from left to right, n2. Then what is the current now? The current I is equals to, say the current is opposite to the direction of electrons, means current will be flowing in the direction of protons. Therefore, n1 plus n2, because the current direction due to protons is like this. Current direction due to electrons is like this only, because electrons are flowing like this. Therefore, current will be in this direction. I1. For n1 electrons, I1 is the current. For n2 protons, I2 is the current. See, directions are very, very important here. I am telling you that electrons are flowing from left, right to left. Electrons are flowing from right to left. Therefore, current will be in the direction of left to right. Protons are moving from protons. What do we get? Left to right. Therefore, direction of current is from left to right. Therefore, due to the protons, the direction of current is from left to right. Due to electrons, the direction of current is from left to right. Therefore, there is no need to negative sign. Therefore, total current I is equals to N1 plus N2 into charge by time. This is the current, and in this case, now any direction is reversed, you take the direction accordingly here. Okay, or N1 minus N2 or N2 minus N1. Right, this is something about the current in different cases. And now let us see. So if a current is flowing like this, if a current is I1 is flowing like this, current I2 is flowing like this, then current, total current I, then implies I is equals to I1 plus I2. I is equals to I1 plus I2. These are all the different ways of expressing current and how to get the current from different parameters. In the next class, we will discuss about the current density and what is the Ohm's law. We'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.